Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is seeing a small rejection from this point of resistance. So in just a moment, I will be showing the importance levels that all Bitcoin holders need to be paying attention to. I will also be looking at the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, the Bitcoin funding rate, and more later in this video. And just before we jump into it, make sure to drop a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. But with that out of the way, let's get straight to what this video is about. So right here on the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the 6-hour time frame, and what we have is that descending parallel channel that I've been talking about for over a week now on the channel. And of course, that was the same bullish divergence that we're talking about as well, which is currently playing out. But Bitcoin came back up to around 49,500, which was this previous high just here, and recently found a small amount of resistance. So if you're talking about the immediate short term, the first level of resistance that we need to be paying attention to is close to 50,000 US dollars. And as for support, the Bitcoin needs to hold above in order to flip more bullish here in the shorter term. We definitely need to hold above this level just here, coming in at just underneath 48,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. If Bitcoin drops below around 47,500, then in that case, it would be very likely we'll drop back down towards these lows, coming in at approximately 46,000. But right now, that is not the case because we're still holding above this level just here. And if anything, if Bitcoin sees a retest of that level and a successful bounce from that level, that would be extremely bullish because something like that would confirm this breakout to the upside. Now, when you're zooming out to the daily time frame for Bitcoin, this is the line of resistance that Bitcoin has recently found resistance along, and this is currently coming in at about 50,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. So that is definitely the first major level of resistance that we need to break above in order to flip more bullish here. And by the way, this pattern just here is a bump and run reversal pattern, a 3-stage reversal pattern. First of all, we have the lead in phase, and then we have the bump phase, and then the run back to the upside, the reversal back to the upside after we break above this exact line just here, coming in at approximately 50K. But I want to make it clear that the run back to the upside, the reversal back to the upside, is not confirmed until we can see a confirmed break above this point of resistance, which right now we have not seen, at least just yet. But if Bitcoin does end up breaking above 50,000 again just here, then just bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from the all-time high down to this swing low to look at some other levels of resistance further to the upside once we can get above 50,000. First of all, anything above 50K, we'll be looking at the 38.2% Fibonacci level, coming in at approximately 53,000 US dollars as our first major point of resistance above 50K. And that 53K level was also previous support for Bitcoin. And as the longer term subscribers would already know, once we break below major support, that flips into new resistance. And then anything above 53K, we do have the 50% level coming in at around 56K. But really the most important Fibonacci level to the upside is the golden pocket, coming in close to 60,000 US dollars exactly. So basically 50,000, 53,000, and 60,000 US dollars are the three most important levels of resistance for Bitcoin if we are to see a breakout to the upside here. And staying on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, another reason why 53,000 is an important level of resistance is because of the 20-week simple moving average. That's what this green line is just here, and that also provided major support at the end of the September correction. And right now it is coming in at just underneath 53,000, but at the moment it's still ascending, so by the time we might get up towards that level, it would be coming in at just about 53,000. And when you're zooming out further on the Bitcoin chart, you'll notice back in May, the moment we broke below that exact moving average, Bitcoin flipped more bearish until we hit the 55-week simple moving average, which then we bottomed out and began a recovery back to the upside. But we really did not flip bullish again until we broke back above the 20-week SMA and flipped it into support. So that is definitely what Bitcoin needs to be doing before we can continue a further recovery back to the upside. But obviously what is great to see is the fact that we're finding perfect support along the exact 55-week SMA, exactly like what happened back at the end of July, and you know what came next. Also, as I have been mentioning for over a week now on the channel, looking in the price oscillators, first of all in the daily RSI, after hitting oversold territories just over a week ago, the daily RSI has been moving back to the upside while the price action has been slightly trending to the downside, giving us a bullish divergence visible on the daily time frame. And obviously, as the name suggests, that is a bullish signal for Bitcoin. The last time we actually saw that was back during the end of May leading into June, and back then was the best buying opportunity of 2021. On top of that, looking in the daily MACD, right now we are continuing with this bullish cross that we saw a few days ago now. And just a quick recap of the last few bullish crosses that we've seen. One was back here at the end of September, and looking at the corresponding price action, you can see that that was a perfect buying opportunity. And the time before that, well, we saw a small bullish cross in the daily MACD at the end of July right here, and obviously you can see what happens next in the Bitcoin price. And of course, we saw a massive bullish cross in the daily MACD back at the end of May right back there, after Bitcoin experienced a lot of bearish price action and as Bitcoin was bottoming out, getting ready for another move back to the upside later on in the coming months. So right now, we simply have a lot of different indicators all coming together to give us the same outlook for Bitcoin moving forward over the next few weeks and months, and that is a recovery back to the upside being the most likely probability when you're simply looking at all of the data that's in front of us. For any of the Bitcoin bears out there, the only way Bitcoin would flip much more bearish again is if we break below this 55-week SMA, currently coming in at around 45 to 46,000. So if Bitcoin sees a weekly candle close below 45,000, then in that case, it would be very likely would flip much more bearish again for at least a few weeks, possibly a couple months. But as of right now, what we are seeing is a bounce from this level, which is simply the bullish scenario playing out. On top of that, we've got the Bitcoin Fear Ingredient Index that has been sitting in fear for quite some time now, and extreme fear for the past 1 to 2 weeks. But today, you'll notice that yes, we are still sitting in fear, but we have bounced right back up very close to neutral areas, which means Bitcoin is potentially starting to move out of fear again as we trend back up to neutral and possibly into greed later on, which means the Bitcoin price is potentially exiting one of these green zones just here. And by the way, if you're brand new to this channel, this is the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the daily time frame, and these green zones show us the time periods that the Bitcoin Fear Ingredient Index was sitting in extreme fear or very close to extreme fear. And time again throughout Bitcoin's history over the years, these more fearful times in the market after we've seen a lot of bearish price action turned out to be amazing buying opportunities for the longer term. And normally the bullish price action, the recovery back to the upside, started kicking in when we exited the fear zone and back up towards neutral areas, similar to what we're seeing right now. But as I said earlier, I'd preferably like to see a break above 50,000 at least to start confirming a possible recovery, and above 53,000 would set us well into the recovery and bring $60,000 price targets in play. Quickly looking at the Bitcoin order books across all of these exchanges, we've still got a huge amount of buy orders sitting at close to 45,000, which is right where that 55-week SMA is coming in at. And then as for sell orders to the upside that could be acting as a bit of resistance, we do have a decent chunk of sell orders at around 50,000, and then another decent chunk of sell orders coming in at around 52 to 53,000, which backs up the technical analysis that I just showed you. And right now, looking in the Bitcoin funding rate, we're still seeing a lot of negative funding rate, which is bullish for the Bitcoin price. I've explained exactly what these Bitcoin funding rates mean for Bitcoin in previous Bitcoin update videos. So if you're new to the channel, after you finish watching this video, I definitely recommend you checking out my other videos on this channel. But basically, all you need to know is the lower the funding rates, so the more negative they are, the more bullish that is for Bitcoin, and the more positive they are, the more bearish that is for Bitcoin. And funding rates at 0.01% are neutral. That is normal. So when you're looking at all of these funding rates, especially in the altcoin market, this is what we normally see after we experience a lot of bearish price action. And once again, the more negative funding rates that we see, the more likely we are to see some bullish price action in the coming weeks and months. If you got value out of this video, please make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. I really do appreciate all of your support in the channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. And before you click off, you might as well check out one of these uploads if you haven't already, because these videos just here can potentially help you make a lot more money in the crypto markets. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for this update. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.